I'm pretty sure everyone and your mom has at least heard of the game called Among Us at this point. Well, I mean, obviously you have, because there's quite literally just no way that you could escape it. I mean, it's just pretty much everywhere, being spread around by your favorite YouTube channel creators, Twitch streamers, and Instagram stars, OnlyFans pages, everything you could possibly think of. There's just absolutely no way to get around it. Clearly, everyone has heard of it, everyone knows what it is, and you just may be spending either 8 hours of your day playing it, or have just simply heard of it but not really taken it seriously. But that also warrants the question, of course, why does everyone seem to like Among Us? Because I clearly want to know the reason why. I mean, what's so good about this game that makes it just simply such a sensation? That's exactly what we're going to talk about here today. And by the way, if you're new here, welcome to the TheTekkitRealm, and you'll get 10 years of good luck if you go about 200 below the screen and make that red subscribe button gray. With that being said, Among Us is a game that just reached the pinnacle of its attention in this current year, 2020. But by no means is it brand new. Among Us has actually been around since 2018, and well, it had actually pretty much no attention until just about now. But clearly it shares some features of the way it grew into success as other counterpart games that used to share the throne of being the #1 most wanted and most foreseen games, such as Fortnite, which also was not popular upon its first release, but actually took 7+ years after it first came out in 2011 for people to finally start wanting to play the game. Mostly because of its new Battle Royale that was released in 2017, and thus shooting it up to its monumental success rate that only went down from 2018 up until this point now. But Among Us, despite it sharing that same form of success story, it being completely and entirely different in terms of its gameplay and strategy of gaming in general. So why exactly are we seeing it being such a phenomenon in our current world right now? Well, there's plenty of reasons, but I'm going to try to find out the exact one. Now, to get straight into it, Among Us, in a sense, is like a whole lot of other games that we've had in the past. Its concept in and of itself is by no means the most original thing that we've ever come up with. Obviously, it's similar to certain game modes and certain strategy and sandbox games that we've had before, and that had their heyday quite a while ago, such as Trouble in Terrorist Town and Gary's Mod for one of its most prime examples, and also even some forms of YouTube-related content just in terms of videos, such as the series that involves finding the person who is the odd one out, produced by the YouTube channel known as Jubilee, which also caught some attention as well, and became one of their most successful series that they actually ever produced on their entire YouTube channel. So clearly the whole idea, being amongst someone who doesn't have the greatest intentions, or who is not truly a part of your group, is obviously something that is alluring to people, and that's the entire basis of this game. What you are essentially placed in is a space station, whether it be up on Earth, a different planet, or out in space somewhere, and you can have as much as 10 players and as much as 3 imposters, similar to the people that would be trying to wreak havoc with you in a Trouble in Terrorist Town map, or within a circle of which certain people are trying to delineate which person is not amongst the same in the group. Except if you fail this whole concept, well, it's a big bye-bye no-no for you, because you lose the game and the imposters win. Now obviously, you being the imposter, if so be it chosen to be you, your only goal is to do the opposite. Cause chaos and have everyone vote everyone except you out, so that you indeed win the opposite alternative. Now the thing with this is, it's fully multiplayer, so people in general have to play online with others. You are always in that social engaged situation where you have no choice but to collaborate and work with other people in order to ensure your success. Now, this is the key feature to Among Us that caused its rapid rise, and therefore causing a domino effect of more and more smaller level influencers also producing videos and content related to the game, exponentially causing more and more everyday people not interested in making videos but simply interested in enjoying the game for itself to become active users within it. Basically, what the game does is feeds off of the very hard wiring of the human mind. Without getting too scientific out here, basically the way it works is that we are indeed, by default, programmed to want to interact and work with others to achieve one common goal, and in not so uncommon situations at the same time avoid a common enemy, which in this case is other humans. Human beings have been dealing with this situation in large scale for quite literally our civilization's entire history. thousands of years of empires and civilizations made up of people attempting to do this exact same thing on obviously slightly larger scales than just a simple two-dimensional video game with just a bunch of paraplegic people walking around with no apparent way of talking or doing anything other than texting on a screen. But you get the point. That one small simple piece of human psychology is the key factor which made the gold rush possible for Among Us to take place, and only get bigger over time, considering that there's not that much of an alternative nowadays. The game production market has gone down vastly more in competition than it was only a year ago due to the fact of less people being able to work in that same line of business. But the demand has just gone up through the roof, of course, for obvious reasons, which in a sense paved the road for Among Us to essentially succeed in the long term. Things like Fall Guys can achieve relatively high amounts of success for short terms of time because they rely on just simply the human attention being really reliant on flashy imagery and a constant sense of competitiveness, but honestly, that can only last for a certain amount of time. However, the very idea fueling the whole concept of Among Us, which basically makes it the case that no matter how outlandish it sounds, you would essentially have to not even be a human being to not in some small way have an interest with Among Us, or at least the very essential concept that it's built on. Now, as for the second, non-primary question, what's so good about the game? Well, I got no idea. You know, when I first found this game, it seemed like nothing more than any other popular game that would come and go. Flappy Bird? Yeah, that's right, I just said that. I mean, you probably haven't heard that word in quite a while. Dumb Ways to Die? Hightail? No, wait, they never made that game. But you get the idea. It goes way further than that. So that is why, in the most basic terms possible, everyone seems to like Among Us. Not only is it a popular sensation in and of itself, but its approval rating seems to also be a phenomenon as well. It's all based up there in your noggin, whether you believe it or not. It's all just among you. Okay, so that's basically it. I mean, yeah, there's not really that much else to say about it. Like, I don't know, I pretty much covered everything. So, I mean, if you did like this video, then, well, go ahead and just annihilate the like button, kindly and politely, of course. And, well, that's all I have to say about this game. I'm not sure where we're going to go after this. Clearly, this game seems to be at the top of the charts. It's going to probably stay there for quite a while until maybe Cyberpunk 77 comes out. But, you know, we'll have to see. But until then, you'll see me and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!